You have worked for years, maybe it was a decade, or maybe it was your whole life, all leading up to a single shining moment. You wanted a title next to your name, a prize on your shelf, or a number in your bank account that you believed would finally let you breathe. You made plans. You sacrificed. You learned. You gave up sleep, weekends, time with the people you love. You were certain that once you crossed the finish line, everything inside you would feel different. The world would finally click into place. Then, the day came. The email landed. The crowd clapped. The key fit perfectly in the lock. You looked at the person who had finally done it. You touched the smooth award. You smiled for the camera like everyone expected. And then, in the quiet that followed, all you felt was tired. A bone-weary exhaustion that sleep could not touch. You reached the destination you circled for years. Instead of fireworks, pride, or joy, there was a quiet numbness. You waited for the promised feeling, the one from the movies. It did not come. A whisper in the silent room of your heart asked, "Is this it? Is this all there is?" The first reason is simple and powerful. We adapt. Our minds and spirits get used to new circumstances quickly. The surprise arrives, dopamine surges, everything feels bright and new. But before you know it, the new car becomes the commute. The beautiful house becomes where you do the laundry and pay the bills. The shine fades. This is hedonic adaptation. It helps us recover and move on, keeps us striving, learning, and growing. But the same mechanism that protects us can shrink the joy of our greatest wins. The extraordinary becomes ordinary. The peak becomes the new baseline. As each achievement is absorbed into daily life, the reward feels smaller and more fleeting. You may need bigger wins to feel the rush that once came from something small. This isn't a flaw. Your brain is doing what it does, adapting. The problem is expecting a permanent feeling from a temporary event, believing a goal is a switch to everlasting happiness. Happiness isn't a destination, it's a state to cultivate again and again. When you understand the thrill is meant to be temporary, you can appreciate the moment without placing your whole life's joy upon it. Another reason for the hollow feeling, the goal you achieved might not have truly been your own. We chase what culture praises, the corner office, titles, cars, applause, because these look good from the outside and earn approval. But the truest part of you can feel empty and unseen. If the prize follows rules someone else wrote and doesn't align with what you care about, the victory may not touch your soul. Your heart has its own definition of success, meaning, connection, service, authenticity. A fancy label or a higher floor doesn't guarantee fulfillment. When external validation mismatches your values, success feels like a costume. Pause and ask, whose dream am I living? Mine or the one planted by family, teachers, society? There is no judgment, only awakening. Sometimes the emptiness isn't about the prize, it's about the price you paid. The path is demanding. You make 1,000 small compromises on the way to a distant light. You cut back on what nourished your spirit, friends, hobbies, health, surviving on caffeine and adrenaline, promising to return after the goal. You boxed up humor, vulnerability, playfulness because they didn't seem professional enough. You arrive. The prize is real, but the life around it feels thin or unrecognizable. Relationships, health, creativity, peace of mind eroded while you weren't looking. The numbness can be grief for what you sacrificed. It is crucial feedback, an invitation to rebuild, to water what has gone dry. Another trap, the moving goalpost. For driven people, success becomes a series of escalating destinations. You tick one box and scan for the next, bigger thing. You get the promotion, then aim higher. Publish, then worry about topping it. It becomes a race where the finish line keeps moving. Your mind lives in the future, anticipating the next hit, bypassing the present where life actually happens. A treadmill of small satisfactions that fade on arrival. From the outside, it looks like ambition. Inside, it can feel like a hungry ghost. Breaking the cycle means stopping, breathing, declaring, "This is enough for now. This moment is worthy of my full attention." I once knew David, a brilliant architect. As a boy, he dreamed of designing a landmark skyscraper. The dream became the engine of his life. He trained at the best schools, worked tirelessly, sacrificed vacations, poured himself into the craft. His firm won the city's most prestigious tower. He was chosen to lead. For 5 years, he obsessed over every detail. When it was done, it was a masterpiece. The city celebrated, critics lauded. His name was everywhere. Months later at a gala, I asked how it felt to see his dream each morning. He paused and said, "I feel nothing. I drive past it and know I should feel proud, but I just feel empty." The chase had been the whole story. Now that it was over, he didn't know who he was. He had poured himself into the goal and forgot to cultivate a self for after. His emptiness was a call to build an inner life as strong as the towers he built. If the world's version of success leaves you hollow, redefine success for yourself. This isn't rejecting ambition. It's aligning ambition with your soul. Choose a new North Star that shines from within. Write your own scorecard for a life well lived. What if success meant peace over praise, time for people you love over titles, joy over square footage, steady meaning over flashy wins? Make it practical. Say no when it misaligns. Trade money for freedom. Choose work that serves your community over your resume. People who shift say life doesn't get easier, but it becomes more honest, softer, fuller, more authentic. You stop running toward others' finish lines and walk a path that feels like home. Keep asking, does this choice feel true to me? You don't need to upend your life. Begin with small, gentle, consistent steps. Slowly weave well-being into the life you have. Small daily habits rebuild your inner world and create a foundation no single achievement can give or take away. Reconnect with what you lost on the way. Bring one thing back in a small way. 15 minutes of painting, a 10-minute call with a dear friend. Practice doing nothing. 5 minutes to sit, breathe, and just be. No phone, no television, no to-do list. Create space between achievements so joy and contentment can surface. Speak it to someone you trust. Hearing, "I understand, I felt that too," is deeply healing. You are not alone. If you are nodding, know this. You are not alone and you have not failed. You've learned a profound lesson. An external prize does not guarantee internal peace. The quiet emptiness is not a dead end. It is an invitation. Look again, go deeper, come home to yourself. Take a paper. Write one achievement that felt empty. Next to it, what you hoped it would give. Safety, love, respect, freedom. Write one thing you lost along the way and one small step this week to bring a piece of it back. Remember, to achieve, to build, to strive is beautiful. It's okay to change your mind. You have the right to evolve, to want craft over applause, rest over restlessness, a quiet life of meaning over a loud life of accolades. Build a life that fits your heart, not a magazine cover. So you reach the thing you wanted. You stand at the summit, breathe, sit with the quiet, bring back small joys. Let this be where a more joyful story begins, so the next victory can land softly and feel like music.